Does racism exist?
Are you really asking me that question? Is that a serious question? Are you a serious host? Did you just ask me if racism exists?
Right.
That might be the dumbest question in my 24-year career
And what's the
that
answer to the
anyone's asked
dumbest
me.
question?
Yes, Jesse. There are people that judge other people based on race.
And
yes,
what is
Jesse,
your
they're out
proof
there.
that racism exists?
Do you not have any black people that are friends of yours? Is that a serious question? I mean, is this a serious program?
Right, I have a
You're
whole
asking
bunch
me-
of black friends. Black people. My family is
Okay,
black.
well,
Everybody black. My children are black.
So you mean to tell me that you don't think racism exists in society?
Where's
Is that what you're
your
about to say
proof
next?
that racism exists?
The Trayvon Martin case,
What about
which you
it?
probably don't know of. I could talk about the...
That has nothing to do with racism.
Nothing to do with race. Okay. So how about Tim Scott, since you're a Republican, I would imagine, a MAGA mushroom gobbler. When Tim Scott says he was pulled over 10 times because of the color of his skin, was he lying? You don't think in our justice system racism exists? Or the people that are chased around in an electronics store just because of the color of their skin? Or the hate crimes that have been committed by white people? Do you know who Ahmaud Arbery is? Do you have any idea who Ahmaud Arbery is? No, you probably don't. You're probably ill-informed.
Calm down for a minute. I want to respond to you about the Tim Scott.
I have a black man who doesn't think racism exists, and I am astounded by your stupid question. But go ahead.
I want to respond. Maybe, I don't know. I remember hearing that Tim say police stopped him before. Tim Scott said that. But that's not racism. That's not racism. That's not
racially profiling is racism.
No such thing as
profiling.
No, that's not racism, Brian. That is.
Racially
first of all, I do
profiling.
want to tell you on record. No, Brian, there's no such thing as racism.
Tell that to Martin Luther King and his family.
Where is Martin Luther King now?
Yeah, he's dead. What about slavery? Was that racism?
I rest my case.
What about slavery?
Brian.
What was slavery?
Hold on, Brian. Let me tell you this.
Jesse, what was slavery?
Brian, it wasn't racism, that's for sure.
What was slavery?
It was.
Oh, really? It had nothing to do with the color of their skin?
No.
No, you are just the most ignorant person I've ever talked to in my life. So wait.
Brian, hold on. Calm down.
It was about the economy.
Brian.
So why couldn't you own white people?
Brian.
What you're saying is so offensive.
White people have been owned.
Slavery had nothing to do with race?
Enslaved too.
Slavery had nothing to do with race. Is that what you're claiming right now?
There were black people in this country who owned slaves. Mm-hmm. Black people that owned other black people as slaves.
Slavery,
was that racism?
Did slavery?
Was that racism?
Did slavery had nothing?
Was that racism?
People owned black people.
When black people had slaves
what
in
black
this
people
country,
owned black people?
Right. When black people had slaves in this country, was that racism?
When did that happen?
Was it racism, Brian?
When did it happen? Tell me the context of what you're talking about. Answer my question and then I'll answer yours. When did it happen?
Brian, when slavery was in existence.
It didn't happen.
Yes, it did.
It didn't happen. You have no idea what you're talking about.
I know for a fact. Was it racism, Brian?
So black people were responsible for slavery. Yeah, that's a very intelligent take.
No, it was the Arabs. There was the Arabs who went over to Africa, Brian. It was the Arabs who went over to Africa and bought the black people from other black people in Africa, and the Arabs sold them across the country to Mexico, to United States, and to other places.
Jesse,
so it wasn't what you're saying.
First of all, Jesse, Arabs are not black people. Just got to give you a heads up on that one.
But they're the one that sold the blacks.
Okay, you just said black people own slaves.
There were black people in America who owned slaves, Bernie.
Okay, so you're saying racism doesn't exist. Is that the point you're trying to make?
No,
you don't think racism exists in this country?
And without a doubt, there's no such thing as racism.
I feel like you're the black version of Alex Jones. I feel like that's who I'm talking to right now. I feel like you are out of your mind. I know you've had some health issues, and I'm trying to be respectful, but this is the most ridiculous interview I've ever had. No, I'm sorry about your health issues. I really do, and I feel for you.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I have no idea what you're talking about. But Brian, hold on.
There's something. I mean, there's something wrong with you. You're saying racism doesn't exist.
Well,
you think
I
women
have
belong
no
in the
health
kitchen.
issue. You put a lie out there. I don't have any health issue. Now, if you're saying that I'm saying this because I'm black and slow, that's a different thing.
It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. I just think that you're extremely ill-informed. You say things that are absolutely batshit crazy, like racism doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
Even the most. Okay, so what's the Klan
And
then?
you know
What's the
what?
Ku Klux Klan?
And you know what?
What's the Ku Klux Klan?
Right.
What's the Ku Klux
And let me
Klan?
tell you, I got
What's
more
the
proof.
Ku Klux Klan?
Hold on.
Answer my question. What's the Ku Klux
Let me
Klan?
respond to your first question. I grew up in Alabama on a plantation. Did you know that?
No, what's the Ku Klux Klan?
I grew up on a plantation under the Jim Crow laws, and I remember color only, white only, but it had nothing to do with racism.
Okay, tell me what the Ku Klux Klan is. What is that group?
They started out trying to stop blacks from, well, they kept them out of the Democratic Party for sure. And
okay,
then
I didn't ask you about the
mad.
Democrat Party.
They kept them out of the Democratic Party, and then the blacks and some other whites got together and they started the Republican Party. And the Klan got mad because the blacks were rising in power in the government. They were like congressmen and senators and things like that. And so the KKK tried to stop them for political reasons, not because of the color. But Brian, because of time, I'm gonna have to move on here.
So hold on, the Ku Klux. So hold on, just for the record, the Ku Klux Klan is not a racist organization. Is that what you're saying?
No, racism doesn't
I mean,
exist.
this is just the dumb.
Our battle,
what are we?
Our battle is
even
a
doing here?
spiritual battle, Brian. It's a battle between good and evil. It has nothing to do with color. But I got to ask you one thing about the civil rights movement. You brought that up. Did you
want to talk to me about? You want to talk to me about the civil rights movement, and you're not even willing to admit the Ku Klux Klan is a racist organization. You might be the most ignorant person that's ever interviewed.
But how can they be racist when racism doesn't exist?
Because they've literally murdered people because of the color of their skin, and it's not my fault. You're too stupid to understand that.
There's no proof that they murdered people because of the color of the skin.
Yes, there is. There are people in jail right now. There are people in jail right now that have committed hate crimes, that have killed and murdered people back in the 60s and 70s.
It was because of hate.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
It was because of hate, not because of color.
A hate crime. Do you understand the definition of what a hate crime is? You don't even know what that means, do you?
Crimes.
No, all crimes are not hate crimes.
When the last time you seen a love crime?
Will you listen? There's a category in our laws that say if you kill somebody and murder somebody because of their religion or the color of their skin, it is a harsher punishment. You don't even know what the definition of a hate crime is.
When the last time you seen a love crime?
Did you not listen to what I just said?
I understand what you said, but I don't agree with that.
There are different. It doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. It's in our court system. Don't you listen?
Right.
There are different categories of murder. No, just listen. I'm trying to educate you on one thing in this whole interview. Please listen. When you commit something called a hate crime and you're convicted, it means you murdered somebody because of race or sexual orientation. It is a separate category from just a first-degree murder. It's a harsher punishment. How is it possible that you do a talk show and you don't even know what a hate crime is?
All crime are hate crime. There's no such thing as love crime.